All right, so today is day 7 of restarting my business, and at this time of recording, I have around 1,600 subscribers on YouTube. Yet with this super small audience, I've managed to have it consistently convert me clients, with YouTube being my only source of traffic. And today, I want to show you how you can do this approach at branding, because I edit these videos on CapCut, I do the thumbnails on Canva, and I don't even use this fancy camera that I have and don't even know how to work. I use my iPhone to actually record them, because it's a little bit of a unique approach on branding. You don't need the pincer hand and all these fancy edits that you see. You can grow a brand and like a channel that actually is based around a skill or interest that you have, and make money off of it just by understanding who you are, being authentic, and having the right posting frequency and a right series and idea and vision for your channel. I'm going to show you how to create that today. So before we dive into the super tactical of how to actually do this, I want to explain why objectively lower quality videos are getting more views than people who have the fancy cameras, editors, and like those crazy Mr. Beast thumbnails, no dead space, all that stuff. Because I've seen a lot of people intentionally try and lower the quality of their video, hoping that it gets them more views, but it never seems to work. And the reason why these videos actually perform in the first place is because people want to see something that resonates with them, right? When something resonates with you, you can relate to something, it builds trust. And what builds more trust than seeing someone without there being perfect lighting, without there being this highly calculated, oriented approach? Because when you do that, when you have a super setup camera and you have a perfect script and all these things, all it makes it seem like is you are detracting from the overall value of the video, right? A lot of the time, these people are giving you objective advice. So here's how you make money. But people don't want to hear that anymore. They want to hear, here is how I made money, and maybe this can relate to you. So when you make these lower quality videos and you just show how you did something, like for example, how I built what I have today, it allows people to go in and see a window into what someone else is doing, and therefore relate and resonate with it themselves and want to execute on it. That is the reason why it works. So if you try and intentionally lower your content quality and just grab a camera with an iPhone and think you're just going to get more views as a result of not having the super fancy pincer and all that stuff, it's not going to work. You need to have an overall vision for your channel and something that you're doing that is overall cool and people want to get behind. In my sake, it's completely restarting a business from scratch. I realize that there's no one who has actually gone on a day-to-day basis in the entirety of the YouTube business market and shown themselves rebuild a business and just go through all the trials, tribulations, the good, the bad, the entire roller coaster, while documenting their day-to-day every single day. So I realized, okay, that's a purpose people can probably rally behind. And as a result, it doesn't matter whether my content is super high quality or whether it's super low quality, it's something that people care about and want to watch. Before I dive into the posting frequency or anything of that nature, the first thing that you need to do is you need to define who you're actually helping, so your niche, and why they should listen to you. And the coolest way and the easiest way to do that is just to find something interesting that you can do in a format of a series. So let's say you are a skinny guy right now and you want to sell a fitness product. It would be absolutely amazing if you did a daily vlog going from skinny to bulk, and every single way, every single meal that you're eating and everything along that path. That would be guaranteed to build you a following as you go through that transformation. Because what's going to happen is the videos might not get views at first, but as soon as you have that one video that hits the algorithm, people are going to realize that this guy's been doing this for a super long time, and every single video is going to baseline rise and get more and more views. And that is what the process of actually doing this looks like. You want to build out a series so that when someone likes one video, they can now watch every single one that you have. And if you can find a cool niche and something interesting to do, that is the first step. And the only other step left is the actual factor of how we put together these videos, how we're making them, the posting frequency, and where we're actually sending this traffic in order to monetize it and make us money. Okay, so now we are over on the computer, and I want to show you what the process of actually putting this whole thing together looks like. So the first step, as I mentioned, is going to be like the niche and overall series. So the idea that you actually have, and this is, I'm gonna like let you guys know in advance, this is not going to be something where I talk about the click-through rate or the average view duration. I have a completely different approach on doing this, and maybe I'm completely wrong about it, maybe I'm completely right, we will see. So niche or series is the first step. So this is something cool that you're doing, something that people want to watch you for. The second thing that we need to solve for is going to be posting frequency. So how often are you going to post to actually keep people engaged with this series or thing that you are building? And then what is also the quality associated with it? So that's going to go down to the third step, which is going to be the process that we actually go through. So it's going to be high quality stuff, it's going to be low quality stuff. What kind of videos are we going to be making? And then fourth and finally, it is going to be the content within the videos. So as a result of the overall niche or series that we are doing, what do people want to see as a result of actually going on that journey and actually building whatever given thing that we were talking about. So, as I mentioned, a great example of this is if you are a skinny guy right now and you want to be an in shape guy, this is a banger series that you could do. So, if we were to go for each of these things on this example, what we would do as a niche is going to be fitness. So, we have fitness right here, and then the series would be from skinny to bulk, from skinny to bulk, and then from that point on, posting frequency. So my posting frequency that I do for this channel is going to be once per day. I believe that if you can do daily, that's going to be absolutely amazing because it's going to allow people to get parasocially invested into what you're doing, and that's going to be above all probably the most important thing. Then the process of actually making the videos. So because it is not like on the computer like me where I can just open up my camera and talk about whatever I'm doing on the day, you're gonna have to go through a style similar to someone like Sam Sulek, where you go through the process of you eating, you buying food, and then also just what workouts you're doing in the first place. So we've got those three things. We've got eating, we've got working out, and then finally, we've got the process of actually shopping and getting the food. And then fourth off, the content that we're going to be going through is actually, sorry, this is actually going to be the content down here. And the process of actually doing that is just going to be handheld with our phone. We don't need to make it complex or anything of that nature. And essentially, if you can find these four things for your niche and you can go and embark on this series, it's going to allow, and it might not be the most popular series on the internet. It's not going to get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views, but what it is going to do is going to allow every single person that watches you to be invested in you so that when they see you complete a journey, when they see you complete an objective, they want to convert. And I'll give you another example of myself doing this in a different niche. So before this, the business that I actually ran was a marketing agency coaching program. So myself and my partner, whose channel I can actually search up right here, let me search it up. Cool. So if I go to his channel and I look at the series that he has put out, there was this one series, and let me find it right here. It was called the SMMA documentary series, and you won't be able to hear it, but essentially what we did is we posted 6 episodes of us completely starting a marketing agency from scratch. You can see there's my face on it, there's me, and whatnot going through the act of building up the series. This is like me on the phone when we realized that we switched our niche and all these things. And when we actually did this, we had our coaching business drop to $0 in revenue. So we're doing about $50,000 a month around here. We dropped to $0 in revenue for the entire duration while we were making this series. And after episode 6, as we scaled up further and further and further, we relaunched it, and then we actually hit our first 100K a month in December of 2023 when we returned to the coaching end of the business, because people saw that we had just proven this massive idea in our business that the gurus or the people that sell coaches and like actual products just can't restart their business. So that is something that if you can do, it is going to be absolutely banger. If you sell any form of product from that point on, doesn't matter whether you have a link in your description the way that we did, or whether you direct them to Instagram, you're going to be getting people that care about you. And it's simply the idea of finding a vision and finding something interesting rather than sitting there in YouTube jail trying to optimize your click-through rate and your average watch time. Because transparently, if you are a business owner, if you are someone with fire in your belly and you just want to get out there and actually achieve a given objective in your own domain, learning how to roboticize YouTube isn't the way that all the best creators in the world, outside of maybe someone like Mr. Beast, actually rose to fame. They rose to fame by doing something interesting, and once they got there, they maintained it through hiring YouTube specialists and all these things. So essentially, that is my take on how I actually grew this channel. I'm going to continue doing it. We'll see if I'm right or not. And yeah, I appreciate you watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. I hope the time that you spent on it was worth the value that you got in return.